All right, so welcome everybody. This is the YouTube channel for the Continuing Committee. I am Maggie Gepper, the Executive Officer, Jadzia Dax 8 on the boards, and I have with me here Stephen. Stephen is Bionic Man 05 on the boards and on the dojo. So Stephen's here today because he asked basically he asked the dojo for a Lackey demo. And I said, I'll totally give you a Lackey demo for first edition if you agree to be my my willing YouTube video victim. So thank you, Stephen, for being willing to sit in and have your learning experience shared with all of the Star Trek CCG community.
You're welcome. Always happy to be a public guinea pig.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So we've got here. I got Lackey pulled up right now. So I just want to, I'm going to start, Stephen already knows how to do this, but I'm going to start this for the benefit of all of our future viewers here. So also this video assumes a couple of things for the viewership. It assumes first off that you have at least a passing familiarity with the game, although Stephen's fairly new. He has played a couple of games. And so a passing familiarity with the game, and also that you have already installed Lackey on your computer. This is not an how to install Lackey video. So so if you're having trouble, go to the Star Trek boards and get that. So I'll put in the description. I'll have a link to the threads on the Star Trek CCG fora that say how to install Lackey. All right, so I'm going to start out here up in the upper left corner of the Lackey screen. We've got some important stuff here with the, we'll start with the main menu. So there's a bunch of different options here. The ones that I use most often and that are most important for any Lackey game are save game. Lackey has a tendency to crash. And so saving your game on a regular basis while you're playing is very, very useful. Other things that we have. Sorry, I clicked out and now it doesn't want to go on my screen sharing. Come on. There we are. All right, so we've got some tabs at the top. This is the main game screen. This is so the big gray area here is the table for playing on, and you'll draw your cards out onto the table. The deck editor is the next tab up here, so it has all of the cards in it that all of the tournament legal and actually even cards on the ban list for if you're playing foolishly playing an open game in first edition. You may be wondering why the second edition card is showing up here. I'll show you all that in just a second. Actually, I'll do that right now. I'll go to plugin. So the plugin tab is where you want to go to a particular plugin to play a particular game. So I'm going to load the first edition plugin here. My most recent game was a second edition game, so that's why I'm here. So I've loaded the first edition plugin. It should, here we are. We just got an update, so it will auto update. So you'll notice here, if you look carefully, everybody, you'll see a URL to do the auto update. So you'll see the word Eberlems in there. That's the correct version of the 1E Lackey plugin, the most up-to-date one. That's maintained by Marcus Eberlein, Eberlems on the boards. So big shout out to Marcus for doing the Lackey plugin update for us. So my plugin is set. Now I'm going to join a server. So I'm going to connect to a game matching server. And so you can see over here, there's that you'll see plugins. So Stephen and I are both loaded here. So I'm going to host a game. I learned an interesting thing about host the game at Tribbles the other day, where you can change the number of seats. So you can play, if you want to get crazy and play a multiplayer game, you can. So I'm just going to set it at 2 because it's just the 2 of us. So now what Stephen's going to do is he's going to go to the server tab and he's going to click on my name. And he's going to, you'll see a button here. I can't, it doesn't, it'll show up if Stephen was showing his screen that says join selected game. So he's going to join my game. And he's joined and he's over here. And it looks like we have our compatible, looks like we've got compatible plugins. If our plugins were not compatible, there would be the game log would be yelling at us. All right, so I'm going to go grab a deck. Stephen, which I'm going to grab. So we have some preloaded decks set up in the. We have some preloaded decks set up that Marcus has put in, and some of them are the coming of age starters. So. Stephen, which coming of age starter were you going to play?
Let's go Klingon.
Okay, so he's going to go Klingon. I will go. I haven't played the Ferengi starter, so I will choose that one. So now I've chosen that starter, and there's a bunch of different. You can see all the personnel here. You can add cards and take cards out. That's what's in this lower box here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here in the middle. There's a line of buttons and one of them says load entire deck to you. So I'm going to load the entire deck to me. And so now you can see I've loaded my deck. And there are a number of different tabs here in the middle that I will use that I'll put my cards in. So you'll notice here there's a tab for hand, there's one for deck. So in the deck tab, all of the cards are automatically generated face down. This card here on the far left is the top card of my deck. Then I don't know why. Oh, there's two in removed. I assume those are downloads for one of the Warp Core cards. I actually don't know what's in here, but so then we've got 6 missions. There are 22 cards in the coming of age starters because I believe these are set up to be used as with packs and to be used in packs and to be used for demos as we're doing now. Okay, so there's my, so I can look in Crew 1. Crew 1 has all of my non-mission seed cards. So dilemmas, facilities. If I had doorways, there'd be doorways in here. All of that stuff. And then in the second tab, the Crew 2 tab, you'll see everything's face down. That's my 6 missions. So, so let's get started with the game. So Stephen, I'm going to roll a d6. So that's /roll. So down here in the log, there's a command bar underneath the log. So you can do /roll and it'll roll a d6 for you. Now I have been told that German keyboards do not have backslashes. Stephen rolled a 3, so he's going to get to go first. So oftentimes when I'm playing, if I'm playing a German or an Austrian player, I'll offer to flip a coin. So you can do /flip, and that'll flip a coin. All right, so let's go ahead. I don't think there's any doorways for the doorway phase here. I'm looking, I don't see any doorways. So why don't, so then we would just go start doing missions. So I'm going to shuffle my missions up. And so Stephen, you want to pull your first mission out onto the table?
All right.
And we can start building our space line. So impose order. All right. Attend mysterious rendezvous. Right, go ahead, pull your next one.
Let's see here. neutral zone region, so we'll throw that over there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The last outpost. So we'll put that here.
And that one there.
Yeah, so I am not planning at all to put any of my cards over on, as I'm seeing it, to the left of the space line because of that neutral zone region mission. I don't know how many are in the Klingon starter, if any at all.
Yeah, I'm not positive. I think there's just, I know there's one in the Romulan starter as well. However, this one is Zendi Sabu, and you have a near Zendi Sabu system.
But it
doesn't
say it's actually a region.
No, so we can put that wherever we want.
Indeed, you can put it anywhere you want.
And let's not let you get your missions too close together.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
I've made that mistake before.
All right, I don't know if there's any other DMZs. Well, I'll put that over there then.
Get some space under those planets. Over there.
So there's our space line. And I'm gonna pull mine down. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. This is something I've heard of. I haven't done before, so I'm gonna edit preferences, and I think in there is a preference where I can say opponent's cards on the table always face you. So I'm going to turn that off. And now your missions look upside down to me. Like a normal, like a space line would look for like in a real game. So I don't know if that's something you want to do for yourself, but that's.
Yeah, I had turned that off previously.
Okay.
It can be a little confusing sometimes having to remember to turn it back on and off depending, but fortunately I like the fact that mousing over an upside down card makes it look right side up.
Yes, that's very helpful. That's very, very helpful. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is, because I'm going to be using Crew 2 later on, the Crew 2 tab a little later on, I'm going to show you something you can do with these tabs. So any of these tabs here in sort of the lower middle part of the screen, you can right click on them and you have a whole range of, you have this huge drop down menu full of stuff. So I'm going to, so right now, cards in this tab automatically flip over and I can't see what they are. So I'm going to reveal to owner all so that later on when I put personnel in this tab, I'll be able to see them automatically. So there's a bunch of other tabs here. If you have a Q's tent or a Q flash or a Tribble's side deck or any of these different kinds of side decks, you're, when you download a deck from the CC website into Lackey, then you will then those tabs will automatically populate with when you load a deck here. So that's a pretty handy feature as well. All right, so I guess now let's start doing things. So facility phase. So, no, dilemma phase, excuse me. I'm gonna actually move anything that's not dilemmas over to crew 2. Yeah, that looks about right. No, more, got an A and S. Okay, so now we can start putting out our dilemmas wherever we like. And so I'm just going to start. So when I build, so when you build your dilemma piles, if you're building your combos, excuse me, normally in a real life game, when you build your dilemma combos, you build them so that the person encounters the bottom dilemma of the stack first, and then you go up from there. I recommend, generally speaking, that you actually build them top down. It's easier in Lackey to just reveal the top card of the stack instead of trying to grab the bottom one. I made that mistake the first time I ever played the first time I ever played the game here. Yeah, so go ahead and start picking your dilemmas and put them where you want.
All right.
So I'm just working. So so we don't have dead air. I'm just working on my combos here, realizing that as I'm reading through the dilemmas, going, oh, there was a better choice for that one than the location I was looking at.
All right.
All right, so I think we've got, nobody has any self seeds, so we can go ahead and batch seed. So I'm just going to start pulling cards over. And a neat tip that I've seen before and that I use a lot in Lackey is that you can, if you take your mouse and you left click on the screen and then drag it over a bunch of cards, you can move them all in one, all as one stack. All right, so now we can do facility phase. So go ahead and lay out your facility and everything else. All right, you ready to put out your outposts, Stephen?
Sorry, just had to talk to somebody very quickly who stepped in.
Oh, no, that's no problem at all. No problem at all.
All right. So, yeah, right. Batch seeding. We're on to the rest of it. So, oh, let's put the outpost out first.
Okay. Put mine here. I just kind of let mine roll out in the middle if that's all right by you.
Quite all right. I'm just
right.
trying to make things compact on my screen.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, that's the you know, that's the appeal and the danger of first edition is it just sort of spreads out.
Yeah.
All right, and then I think we can just put everything else out for, you know, I don't think we need to go ahead. So I've got my continuing mission and I'm gonna grab a warp core card. And my warp core. Do I have a warp core? This is what I get for not. Okay. I've never played with the Ferengi starter before, so I'm looking for a warp
Yeah,
core
looking-
card. There is not one. By the way, for anybody watching, so the way I did that was I looked at my deck and I went ahead and right-clicked on the deck and I revealed to owner all. So now I'm going to reveal to all none and shuffle because I looked there. Then I have attention all hands, assign mission specialists, and my mission specialists populate in the removed tab. So they're going to go to, I've got Follis and I've got Chiron as my mission specialists here. Useful over there. Attend mysterious rendezvous. All right. So now I'm going to click on my hand, and one of the buttons down, so just above the log, you'll see a variety of buttons. There's one that says draw 7, so I'm going to draw 7.
Oh, so there is.
Yes.
Haha.
All right, and as we draw 7 cards, we do complete the seed phase now, and we are ready to play. So go ahead, sir.
All right. So first thing that I'm going to do then is use attention all hands to put a universal TNG person out. We will go with this one, the Sombre, which will then trip the condition on continuing mission that once each turn, when you play a TNG personnel with 4 or fewer skill icons and no downloads, you may draw a card. Card draw, and then for my regular card play, I will do select Mr. William T. Riker. And I will then move into the order phase, and I will not attempt a mission right off this turn. And instead, I will move into the draw phase, draw a card, and end my turn.
Awesome. So, so Stephen is actually using a feature that I haven't ever really used for this, which is the play phase, order phase, draw phase here in each of them, saying which one it is. I actually don't recall ever seeing anybody use those before, but it's a cool reminder, because I have done things before where I've been like, I started in order and then I was like, oh wait, I wasn't done all my plays yet. Darn it. Okay, so let's see. And so for my play phase, let's see. All right, I will play. I will play. My regular card play is Dr. Eridor. And then my attention all hands free play will be 11, and that will, then I will draw for continuing mission. So there's a lot of cool commands here that you can use a lot when you're doing these things. The different tokens and the different buttons, and a lot of those correspond to things. If you right click on any of the cards, you can see a bunch of different options for commands to use as well. Now I think, because we are in a situation where we don't have any villagers with torches, that I might get no, I'm gonna wait. So I'm gonna pull, just to keep my, I'm gonna pull all of my personnel into crew 1, just to keep the table kind of neat. So they are all on the outpost. So I'm gonna mark my outpost. I'm gonna right click on my outpost and I'm gonna mark it with the black token +1. So basically what I'm doing with this is I'm showing that, and you don't have to do this, but this is something that people like to do, where it basically says which crew is where. And I found it really invaluable to use when you have multiple crews kind of floating around out there. So we're not going to do anything yet. I don't have any orders to perform. So the one thing I will do, and I should have mentioned this before, if you look over at our names over here to the left, you'll see there's a blue button with a right-facing arrow in it. This actually shows whose turn it is. So I'm going to use it to advance the turn. So it was sitting on Stephen, and I advanced it to me and back to him. The advantage of doing this, and this is something that I recommend to anybody who's watching this out there, is always advance the turn when you are done. So I actually should draw to end my turn. Always advance the turn when you're done, because this will auto save the game. And actually, I'm going to do a save game, because we got done with the seed phase, and we are going to go ahead and we're moving through the play phase now. So I saved the game. As you've probably heard, Lackey, the server has a tendency to crash sometimes, especially if especially if your internet's even the tiniest bit unstable. The Lackey server will crash on you, and then you're like, well, what was I doing? What was the game state? So I try to remember to save on a regular basis. All right, so Stephen, it is your turn. Go ahead.
All right. So the first thing that we will do is use attention all hands to get out a generic personnel that I don't already have. However, and that will not trigger a card draw because they have the download icon on them. And since I'm going through and realizing that I really am not able to accomplish the mission my outpost is at right now, I'm going to go ahead and use my regular card play to put a ship at the outpost. So then we move on to the orders phase. I'm going to go ahead and beam everybody up, put them into crew 1. There. Now, I always get this one wrong. For using the range of a ship, you do or do not include the mission you start from.
You do not include the mission you start from.
Okay, good. I always get that one wrong.
Now, in second edition, it's always just the sum of the spans for the 2 missions you want to move between. But not in first edition, you just go, okay, so if you're going to move, if you're trying to move over to like Sea's Freighter, you would go 3 range and then another 3 to 6. So you'd use 6 range to get over to Sea's Freighter.
Yes, which, given that the ship has a range of 8, I will be able to do. So now I will attempt that mission.
Okay. So he has declared a mission attempt with his crew 1. So I'll go ahead and move the mission out of the way, and I will flip the top card. So I'm going to right click on the card. I'm going to flip it over. And it is dignitaries and witnesses. To get past requires integrity greater than 20 and an admiral, or strength greater than 30 and a general, or cunning greater than 20 and 3 leadership, or strength greater than 20 and a mage. So I'm thinking that last one is probably not likely, but
No, and I have neither a general nor an admiral nor 3 leadership. So that will stop that attempt.
all right, so I will flip that back over, and I'll put the mission back.
And now I will draw a card and end my turn.
All right, and I will advance the turn. All right, so I am going to use my attention all hands download. So in place of my normal card play, I may download a universal TNG ship to my matching outpost. So this deck did not have the Ferengi Trading Post usually allows you to do a universal Decora face up, but I think that was probably unbalanced with the rest of the outposts. So I'm going to go in my deck. So the way I'm going to do the download, so for those watching at home, downloads, remember, can come from your hand. They can come from your deck, your Q's tent, or your Zalconian storage capsule. I don't remember the last time I saw one of those, but so I'm going to go to my deck. I'm going to reveal to owner all, and I'm going to grab a universal TNG ship. So let's see, I have the choice. All right, so I have a choice of a Ferengi scout vessel or a Ferengi scout vessel as my universal ship. So I will go ahead and get a Ferengi scout vessel. Then I will not forget to right click on the deck tab and say reveal to all, none, and shuffle, because I have a tendency to forget to do that after I download, so much to my chagrin. I've done that on multiple occasions. That's not something that I'm proud of there, that I forget that. Okay, so then then I will use my attention all hands free play to put out Tar. He will trigger continuing mission. And let's see. All right, so all right, so we will go ahead and move those people here to my crew 1. Let's see who wants to go. Okay, so all right, I'll send Tar down and attempt the last outpost.
Okay. We'll go ahead and flip that top card.
Randomly select 3 personnel or 6 if more than 9 present. If any of those personnel have anthropology, all of them are stopped. So he doesn't have any anthropology. So it looks like I just go through.
Yep. So we will put that on the removed pile.
Yep.
And flip the next one.
All right, then. Get past requires 2 honor or 2 treachery. Each honor or treachery personnel that helps overcome the stillness placed on the bottom of the owner's draw deck. Ooh. All right, so he's stopped. So I'm going to right click on him and I'm going to rotate him 90 degrees to show that he's stopped. All right, and I I can't get by that right now. So then I will.
So then that will flip back over.
That will flip back over. You will put the
Mission
back.
There we go. Line up correctly.
And then I will need to draw to end my turn. And it is your turn.
I will go back to looking at my hand. I'm on the wrong tab there. No wonder everybody looked so familiar. Using attentional hands, we will get Vol'jin out there, which will trip the card draw. And out. Corral as my regular card play. Now, this puts me in an interesting position. So what I'm going to do here is realizing that I can't hit the mission with the dilemma that I'm under. Can't do those others. I'm going to start moving back down the space line. So that's a range 7 to move back to where my outpost is.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll beam these 2 up to crew 1.
Realized I put my Ferengi shuttle in my crew 1. It should be sitting out here on the table.
And then I will draw a card and end my turn.
All right. So for my card play, I will play data. My attention all hands personnel will be Crunk. I'll draw a card for him.
Now that is an interesting thing that I've noticed, where we seem to be doing the same actions in different orders consistently. I've been doing the free play from the incident, whereas you've been leading off with your regular card play and then going into the free plays. Does there seem to be a strategic value to one over the other?
It really from what I've seen, or for the way I think about it is like, if there's something that I'm looking for, if there's something that I need, I'm going to try to play the attentional hands first, because that's most likely to have somebody who's going to trigger the continuing mission draw. But in this case, like, I wanted data for his treachery for the Forsaken that's under there right now. So I wanted, and I wish that he was treachery by 2, because that would be really awesome if he was treachery by 2. So I'm gonna pull these folks back. I'm gonna beam them all back up. All right, so I need Tretch by 2, and unfortunately this means that if I want to get by there, I need to put spendy people. No. Okay, I'm gonna wait on doing that because I have other treachery. All right, so I will draw to end my turn, and you may go.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do then is make a difficult decision. A somewhat difficult decision, not entirely. So with attention all hands, I will put Vector out, and then I will add Kamal as my regular card play. Oh, and Vector triggers the continuing mission card draw.
Indeed.
Don't want to forget that one.
No, that's very important for these decks.
Yes, it is, and I wish I had done that before my regular card play because I'm looking at a card that I could have very, very heavily used. But hands off the board, I made my mistake, and we will go from there and make life interesting. So for the orders phase, I will beam them up to crew 1 because who doesn't like having everybody that you own on the same ship? And we will move 6 range because I'm just shy of being able to go further. At which point I will draw a card and end my turn.
All right, so in fact, I'm going to go ahead. I will start by doing my attention all hands free play. Obel for free. He's going to draw for continuing mission. And I will play card play will be Vosh. I don't think Dig is in there. I don't think Dig is in this deck, but you know what? I'm gonna go check and see if her special download for Dig is in here. So I'll go ahead and reveal to myself my deck. Nope. Nope. My ulterior motive for doing this is hoping to get some more universal. I'm not sure how many more universal people I have out for the attention all hands free play. So I was hoping to get some. So I would so to do that. All right. So there's no dig. So I will reveal to all, none, and shuffle. All right. So now I've got. Let's see who. So now I've got. All right, I need to do this. Shoot. I have to do that way. Berg. No. Okay. All right, so I'm going to send Obel and Data and Vosh down to the last outpost. They are attempting.
All right.
So with Forsaken, so Vosh and Data both have treachery. So I have to place them under the deck. So I'm going to show you something cool you could do with this. So I just selected both of those personnel. Now I'm going to right click on them. So if you look here, when I right click, there's a drop down menu. So if you look, you see one of the options says send to bottom of. And then once you hover over that, it gives you an option of all of the tabs that are available to you. So I'm going to send to the bottom of deck because that's what Forsaken says I need to do. So that's a neat little thing that a neat little trick for those dilemmas. So Forsaken goes away now. And Obel continues. Good day to lie. To get past requires 3 diplomacy or 3 treachery. If a Ferengi or if a Klingon treachery personnel is in play, opponent may then download Doros anywhere at this location. So I think that Doros is in here. I don't have 3 diplomacy or 3 treachery on Obel, so he'll be stopped.
All right, so then I will examine my deck to check for Duras.
I have he should be in there because I think that all of these coming of age starters have one of these downloader dilemmas in it. So he should be somewhere in your deck would be my guess.
Ah, yes, yes, he is. There he is. So Duras shows up at the last outpost.
Yes, so he can go anywhere at this location. So he could come to the Ferengi trading post, or he could.
Well, this has been completed. So what I'm going to do is put that dilemma there, and
well, the mission's not done yet.
No, but
okay.
You completed the dilemma.
That's true.
So I'm getting rid of the.
Oh wait, no, I haven't, because it says to get past requires, and it doesn't say discard the dilemma. So actually, it goes back underneath, and I need to be able to send down 3 dip and 3 trash, or 3 trash.
That's okay. So many things to keep track of sometimes.
Okay. So then, let's see. Things to do. So I have none of them, not there. All right, so then I need to draw it in my turn.
All right. My turn then. And first thing I'm going to do is attention all hands to get Larg out at the outpost, which will then trip the draw. And for my regular card play, let's get Captain Worf out there. So while I could run back and pick up Duras, I think I'm going to leave him there. And instead, I'm going to move on and attempt this planetary mission by debating with myself if I want to send everybody down. And why not? Let's have some fun with this.
Okay. So you're telling me crew 1 is attempting, all of crew 1?
Yep, all of crew 1.
Alrighty, so I'll flip this first card and say the arsenal divided. Divide your unique personnel into 2 face down piles.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then
is I would say take your unique personnel and distribute them between crews 2 and 3.
Yep, just need to figure out which ones I'm putting in which section. And we'll put him in 1 and those 2 in crew 3. So both of those should be fully viewable to you. Crew 2 and crew 3.
Yeah, so they're face down.
Let me
no,
reveal.
they are face down to me, and they
Okay.
should be because it says 2 face down piles. So
Yes.
they're flipped. So I'm going to choose crew 3 to be stopped.
Crew 3 will be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you can take the person from crew 2, move them back to crew 1.
Now I need to see if I have cunning over 27, which I think I will hit.
I hope with 7 Klingons you can do that, because
I'm hoping so too, but we'll find out.
Seven. Last I checked, 7 times 4 gets you 28. So unless they're really, really stupid.
Nope, and all of them have cunning over 4. Do you want me to reveal sufficient personnel to prove that to you?
Nah, I'm fine.
Okay.
All right, so I will pull that, removed, and flip the next card, which is Hunter Probe.
2 security and 2 anthropology. Well, I do not meet that.
Okay, I choose 2 personnel and they die at the end of the turn. So
let me reveal this to everybody.
Alrighty, so. Okay. End of the turn. All right, so maybe I'll stop you with that dilemma. I don't know. So let's think ahead. So if I think what I want to do is, if I don't know if I'm going to stop you or not, but I'm going to, if I stop you, I'm actually going to take out your 2 mission specialists. Because if I take them out, you no longer, if I manage to stop you with the next dilemma, and they die at the end of the turn, then you can't do this mission because you won't have any honor. You don't have enough honor. You don't have enough engineer.
Plus, that will prevent them from using assigned mission specialists to put additional points.
Right. So you wouldn't.
If you stop me, yeah.
Right. So I'm going to choose Vecma and Kalen, or however you pronounce that guy's name. All right. So both tie at the end of the turn. So actually, I'm going to show you something kind of cool here. A note. So check this out. So this is a feature of Lackey. If you right click on a personnel or any card, there's a feature, there's an option called edit note. And I'm going to put in a note that says Hunter Probe, that I selected them for Hunter Probe. So now if you mouse over those personnel, you see they have that note that they've been selected for Hunter Probe. And because your tab is open, I'm going to drag them back into the tab, and they'll both keep that note on them. Now it's that note, if you just as a warning, if you use the note feature, and I use it a lot in my, I've got an Android deck right now, so I use it for like my Zoom types and for LOL. If you pull a card into a closed tab, so if I had pulled them into the Crew 2 tab, those notes would disappear. But since Crew 1 is open right now and visible, the note will stay on when I pull them in and out of the tab.
All right.
All
So
right,
what dilemma do you have next?
All right, so then it is Flim Flam Artist.
Oh boy.
I get to draw a card.
Yep.
Huzzah! Oh, good.
Ooh.
Oh, das ist hilfreich. Das ist hilfreich. Dankeschön.
I do believe you have stopped me because I do not have diplomacy. I only have one computer skill and I don't have any law.
All right, so
yeah, so that stops me, and those two people die.
Indeed. Oh, and you probably want to make Crew 1, so your Crew 1, so that I can't see them anymore.
Ah, yes. So,
but yeah, you can pull.
And then I'm gonna move my 2 stopped people back into Crew 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Beckma and Quaylen get discarded. Ouch. That hurt. So we'll draw a card and end my turn.
Okay. All right. We'll rotate. We'll pull back. He's unstuck. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will attention all hands, free play Mordock, and I will draw. And then my regular card play will be Gozar. And then security 2. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a little fun here. All right, so oops. All right, I'm going to move these folks into Crew 1. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've got Obol here on the planet with Doros. I have in my hand a interrupt called Business Gambit. So once per game, plays to stop your Ferengi greed personnel and an opposing personnel present. So they are present together. Obol has greed. I will steal an equipment present. There's no equipment present, or I will download an equipment here. I don't know if there's actually any. I don't think there's any equipment to download that I'll reveal. Yeah, I don't have any equipment to download, so go to all, and then shuffle. So my main purpose in doing that is they are both stopped now. So I score 5 points. I will put that in my point area over here. So they're both stopped. And now you can't assassinate somebody when they complete the mission.
You've seen through my clever ruse of leaving him there like that.
All right, so then what I will do is I'm going to send down Mordock and Gozar and Dr. Eridor. And we've got, so I've got 3 treachery here. So that will get me by the 3 treachery in a good day to lie. So these 3 are going to attempt.
All right. So, yep, that gives you the treachery.
And
bypass.
Then, yeah, Eridor, Dr. Eridor has acquisition, Mordock has security, and then I have the 2 treachery for that.
All right, well done.
So I will give myself 35 more points. And I will go ahead and pull them up. So he's still stopped here. All right. I'll save while I'm thinking about it. I always try to save after somebody scores points. All right. So, I'm just, while we're, because we've actually run through now a completed mission. And I think that that's probably going to give anybody who's viewing this enough of an idea of how Lackey works here, that they can they can get started here. So do you mind if did you have any questions about Lackey or things that you saw you wanted to know more about?
No, that actually was pretty helpful with clearing up some questions that I had before with working at and just getting practice moving things to and from different tabs and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good. So another couple of things I wanted to show you. I don't a feature that I wanted to show you that I think is pretty neat. I don't know how this comes up an awful lot in first and second edition. I don't know how useful it's necessarily going to be in first edition, but I wanted to show our viewers. There's a really cool feature that I like a lot. So if you have a card that says reveal the top card, top X cards of your draw deck or something like that, there's a feature that you can do that. So if you right click on your deck, you say reveal to reveal to all top, so let's say 3. Let's look at the top 3 cards of my draw deck. So if you take a look, this window shows up inside and you can see what these are. Oh, I know when this is getting used. Sexecutioner hit me hard with a in for a trim deck in the TNG playtesting tournament, and the TNG card pool playtesting tournament. And the in for a trim allows you to examine the top X cards, where X is how many barbers you have, and move things around. So what's neat about this is you can like if a card lets you move things around, you can do that here. And then you have some options here. You can do a randomly play, a randomly discard. You can send to the top or the bottom of any location. So if I'm told to discard the top card, I would do that here, and then so that's done that way. That's a very useful feature in Lackey that I didn't really know existed. Some other cool things you can do in Lackey, if you want to pull a card out if you need to pull a card out onto the table face down, if you press Control and select a card, if you have a face-up card and you press Control and then you drag it out onto the table, it'll, no, I think I let go of Control too fast. You can put it down face down, so the opponent won't necessarily see that. All right, so if there's no other questions on here, I'm going to go ahead and stop the.
There was one fun little feature that I discovered in a game I was playing the other day that I found very helpful with some of the dilemmas that will like randomly move crew into different areas. Right-clicking on the tab at the very bottom, the move function. Instead of top and bottom, it also has random.
Ooh.
And you can then randomly move, say, 5 to the top of one of the other sections, as opposed to having to just directly drag and drop. Or because it was pointed out to me that some people find it, like if they have cards set up, it's considered, I guess some people find it a wow, I can't think of the word etiquette rule, not to just drag them onto the field because that reveals them. And so doing that, I found that was helpful with certain ones to randomly select, like say 2 or 3 people out and put it into another group. Or like a hand, randomly select out of somebody's hand. You can just randomly discard to the top randomly move to the top of the discard pile.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I hadn't, that's a feature I hadn't seen before, and I like that. Yeah, so that'll work really well on any kind of dilemma where you have, randomly select 3 personnel to be stopped. Normally, the way I work that is, so I'm going to reveal to all none on my crew 1. If I had a random selection dilemma where I was supposed to be selecting your personnel, I would just have you, conceal your personnel from me, and then I would just pick them up. And yeah, and I don't put them on the table. I just pick them up and drag them to crew 2. And so that's the way I've worked. I generally work random selections, but I could certainly see that being an interesting option as move random 3 to top of crew 2. And so there they sit. Neat. That is pretty cool. All right, well, thank you so much for being my demonstration person on this video. I'm going to go ahead and stop.
Always happy to help.
Stop the screen sharing, and I will go ahead and